43-year-old young man in our jail. Allegedly hung himself, was there for 20 minutes. He wasn't there long enough to get booked. We have got no report in terms of what his death was. Have you got anything from the coroner about this situation? Because of tragedy number 2. November 29th, 2012. Timothy Russell and Melissa Williams, total disrespect for the city of East Cleveland. People stopped me on the street and said, not only did they disrespect you, they didn't have any regard for the police. They came in and took over the crime scene and shut everything down, and it's nothing. This is a fact. They would not have done that anywhere. Okay, and then shut those people up. Shut them up 137 times.
Hello.
In our city.
Hello. That's from my house.
Mayor Norton spending recklessly, city facing $8 million deficit. We do not spend money up here. We do not. The administration does the spending. If you spend outside the budget, you create problems for yourself. We don't do it. We give them the money like we got a temporary budget. He'll get to $15 million. Now, if he's reckless like he's been the last 3 years, the situation would jump from $8 million to $13 million. Let me continue. Now we're in fiscal emergency. The state is in here. Why? Because of reckless spending. Spending what you don't have. Norton's failure to control overtime and wasteful spending is the problem. Not us, him. Mayor Norton is the only East Cleveland elected official who has been traveling at taxpayers' expense. Listen to this. This council has been so frugal, we haven't traveled in years. But if we get the purchase requisition, he travels all the time. But has he brought any money back into the city? No, he has not. That's not to criticize, that's to tell the truth. He has not. Again, recklessly spending what we don't have. Currently, and this is going to blow your mind, listen to this, to show you how money's being spent. We renovated a house a few months ago on Idlewood. Joy, are you listening?
Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, we put $300,000 in that house. $300,000.
Yes, say it again.
$300,000 in one house. The house is still vacant. Do you realize how many houses we could have renovated for $300,000? 5 or 6. It's still sitting vacant, and we still haven't got an adequate report. What? Yes. Yes.
Explain what you did to try to get help and get information.
I went by Fairfax Development Corporation. They wouldn't see me. I couldn't get the information because I was so upset. And what bothered me was to show you the cooperation that is lacking. When they had the opening of this renovated house on Idlewood, George Jordan was in contact. Mansell Baker was in contact. Vice President Chantel C. Lewis was in contact. And Barbara Jean Thomas was in contact. That's the disrespect that we've been getting. But we didn't argue about that. But $300,000 in one house? Come on! That's irresponsible. I got a few more. Okay. Okay. Mayor Norton has total control of the public access channel, Channel 9.
Got it
You tell me this public
The Norton Network.
that you're tired of seeing his face on Channel 9.
24 hours.
Because he controls it. This man here, that's doing our video, Ray Robinson, a good brother, has to turn it over to Fambro for us to see it. And Fambro will do what the mayor tells him to do. That's what we're dealing with here. Yes. Yes. And we shouldn't have to do that. A few more.
Excuse me.
No. The videographer has been paid, and our attorneys, and she brought that up, let me jump on that. We're in mediation. Our attorney has not been paid, but his has. This is the mess we're dealing with up here. This is why. There's got to be a change. Okay. A few more. Parking spaces. Listen to this, guys. Listen to this. We are an elected body. We have supposed to have parking spaces. We've been waiting for how long? 3 years to get signs because he won't act on it. He won't even give us parking spaces.
He said he wasn't going to.
Can you believe that? Can you? It's ridiculous.
He said he wasn't
It's
going to.
ridiculous.
He said he wouldn't do it.
Few more. He said he wasn't going to do it.
He
And
said
we've
it.
been waiting and waiting.
He said he wouldn't
Barbara
do it.
Jean Thomas passed legislation saying the only people who can take cars home is the police chief, the fire chief, and one other person. And other people are taking cars home just way out.
So
It's costing us thousands of dollars. Where is the frugalness at? We passed laws for that, and he ignores it. He ignores it. It's sad. It's sad. Few more. Okay. For over 2 years now, we purchase things through a purchase requisition. 80% of our purchase requisition sits on his desk. He won't sign off on. We have to beg him for paper, beg him for toner, etc., etc., etc. And still we bite the bullet to do what we think is best for the citizens. But we're not getting that. This is the kind of, what would you call it? Petty, selfish kind of thing that we've been dealing with for 3 years. I'm glad it's all coming to light. I'm glad that the media's finally come to the council and hit on the side. He's been the darling of the media lately, but he ain't the darling now. Instead, he wants to deflect these potential layoffs on us. It's his spending that's the reason why we're in this. And a few more, Council President. Ordinance 115-12. That's mediation. We're downtown across from the Justice Center with our attorneys in mediation. They agreed for us to get stamps and a number of items. I'm going to go through that. They agreed. His attorneys, he got his own private attorneys, they agreed for us to get that. He still haven't acted on it.
Under oath.
He has not acted on it at all. We couldn't get stamps. I was called in to get some stamps. I came to get the stamps on a Friday, sitting in the office of the finance director for 20 minutes, and she said he didn't sign off on the stamps.
He ain't gonna do it.
She signed off, but he did.
He did.
He ain't gonna.
I'm not talking about the man. This is fact. I want you, if you don't believe what I'm saying, come to our office and our clerks will give you the documentation. It's a sad situation. A few more.
It's in page 20.
It's on page 24.
In your packet.
Okay. Lastly, we have had troubles because we don't get the cooperation. When we were doing the budget hearings, half the time he wasn't here, and sometimes we didn't have anybody here. Here we're doing the budget for the city, and the administration half the time is not here. So now we got a $6 million, potential $8 million deficit and growing. And there's really no plan to change it. I want to thank you guys for your tolerance. I want to thank you for hanging in, especially you, Joe. I can imagine what you've been going through, dealing with it. There's his disdain and disrespect for this group, or this body, is just unbelievable. When you think of the fact that we voted and supported him to be mayor.
Not this year he won't.
So, we have a problem. And it's not political. It's the fact that we don't have the money. So let it be written so that we